You are listening to the Vibrant Life Podcast, episode number 5.
The Vibrant Life.
Hey you, welcome to the Vibrant Life Podcast. I'm Emily Romrell, and I want to apologize. It's been a couple of weeks since the last podcast. Life's been a little bit crazy, and I need to be better prepared, so I'm going to be better at putting these out. This one's coming out on Monday, but I'm hoping to have it come out every Friday on the regular time schedule, so I really do appreciate your patience with me as I get this going and into my routine. But it's great to spend some time with you today through the miracle of technology. It's awesome in the true sense of the word that we can create content and others can connect with it. And time or distance doesn't matter. A bond is formed between people that may or may not ever meet. It's a magical process that's been happening for as long as art has existed. And that's one reason that I love books so much. An author might be gone for centuries, and yet a reader will still connect with their words, and a relationship is formed that's real and meaningful. And the same goes with great works of art, music, gardens people have planted. The ways and means are limitless that we can create relationships with people that we don't even know. Not to compare this little podcast with anything so monumental, but I do feel a connection to you as a listener, and I hope you know that, and I hope you know that I'm grateful for the time you take to listen to what I'm offering. I also hope you've been enjoying the podcast. I've received some great feedback, and if you have time, a review on iTunes or Spotify would be really great. I really appreciate you spreading the word. It is a goal of mine to create a community where we can all grow and become better together, and so reviews really help me in that. Also, April is upon us. Can you believe it? A fourth of the year is already over. If you're looking to get more organized for quarter 2 of 2021, consider the Vibrant Life Goal Planner. I actually created an all-inclusive goal tracker, calendar, and personal journal just as a tool for myself. And I've gone through a lot of different planners and journals in my day. I created a system that works wonderfully for me, and I know it would help you maximize your potential and create your own vibrant life. So I do have a video that shows the planner and a link in the show notes for the Vibrant Life Goal Planner. So check that out. Alrighty, let's get down to it. Today's topic is choose your hard. And honestly, the last couple of months have been difficult for me. I've had the worst insomnia that I've ever experienced. I just can't sleep, and that affects everything from my mood, my energy, and my thinking. I'm getting over an ear infection, and I also struggle with headaches a lot, so it's been difficult physically. And besides all of that, I'm working for myself now, doing some freelance work, which is great, but also stressful when other things are out of balance. So I don't tell you this because I want pity or sympathy. I just want to express that I'm human and I'm working through life. I'm in the thick of things right along with the rest of you. Kind of makes me think of that one song, Stuck in the Middle with You. And I created this podcast as a way to document my journey to a vibrant life. I'm in the middle of that journey, and I hope you'll find value here and grow in the journey with me. So, what does it mean to choose your hard? This principle has changed my life. It's a lesson I've felt like my soul kind of always knew, but is taking time for my mind and heart to accept and actualize. But practicing and working on true principles is what life is about, right? You're probably wondering when I'm going to get to the point, and I promise I will, but I want to talk with you about my personal journey over the last few years. This will give you the context of where I'm coming from, and then you can better understand my message today. So, I've dealt with depression and anxiety since I was 12 or 13, and I'm 35 now. So believe me when I say I know what it's like to deal with pain and trials over a long time and wonder if life will ever get better. A big side effect of those struggles is that I became extremely overweight. I've experienced some dark times, and maybe the worst was at the beginning of 2018. I felt as low and as helpless as I could ever remember. So I made an appointment to talk with my bishop. And just kind of a side note, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you have questions about the church or what the role of a bishop is, I do have some links in the show notes. But all you need to know is that I reached out to a caring religious leader. And there's a lot of help out there in many religious communities and civilly, just with government programs and things. So if you are struggling, I hope you'll be brave enough to ask for help if you need it. We have those things in place for a reason, and I really hope people will take advantage of what's offered, because there's some really great things that can help you if you're struggling. So, side note on that. But my bishop at the time was a practicing psychologist and counselor, believe it or not, and he was compassionate and told me that he felt I needed professional counseling to really move forward in my life. And I was reluctant to try that. I'd gone to counseling before and felt it hadn't made much of a difference. My bishop assured me that he felt like professional counseling was a good choice, so I agreed to try again. My bishop recommended a counselor for me, and I started to see him, and I felt that counselor was interested in helping me, but he was overworked and could only see me sporadically, so I didn't really get consistent help like I felt like I needed, and I felt really discouraged at that point and almost gave up. But I decided to give it another try and research some alternative people online, and I found a counselor that looked good, so I called her up, and I'm so glad I kept going, because I really clicked with my new counselor, and she's helped me to make some big changes in my life. And one session I was with her and this topic came up, and she taught me about choosing your hard. Emily, she said, life is hard. You have to decide which hard you're willing to live with. It's hard being overweight and not being able to be active and do the things you want to do. And it's hard to change and live a healthier lifestyle and give up some of the habits that brought you here. It's hard to stay home in bed and feeling anxious and depressed. And it's hard to make yourself go outside and walk and interact with the world. You have to choose your hard. This idea changed my world, and I had a major paradigm shift in how I viewed my life. For a long time, one of the thoughts on repeat in my head has been, life is hard. To be honest, I still have that thought often, but I'm making progress on changing what that means. Initially, I entertained thoughts like, life is hard and there's nothing I can do about it. Or life is hard and because it's hard, I will always struggle and be in pain. Those thoughts are dang depressing. But after I got this idea in my head that you can choose your hard, I felt a surge of hope. All right, so after a few months of counseling, I had been feeling a little better and working hard on trying to change my negative patterns. And I have to admit, I can be pretty stubborn and slow to accept change, even when I know it's good for me. But I was making progress, and I got the opportunity to have weight loss surgery. A few months previous to this, a friend of mine decided to have the same weight loss surgery along with her husband, and they looked great. So I talked to the medical clinic they used and got some more information. In the past, I was really reluctant to get surgery. I felt like it was too expensive and I didn't believe I deserved it. And what if I got the surgery and it didn't work? But with this thought that I could choose my hard and do hard things, I felt much more optimistic. And my parents were extremely supportive and helped me all kinds of ways in like finances, physically and emotionally. They were with me through the whole process. And it happened really fast. Within a month of considering the surgery, I had the operation and it was done, and I was on my weight loss journey. I don't have time to go over my whole story on this podcast episode. The process of losing weight after the surgery was not easy either. I didn't manage my diet and energy very well, and there were many days where I was close to passing out because I felt so tired and weak. I had to learn how to manage my energy and nutrition. I'm still learning, but I'm a lot better at it now. And 2 years later, my life is transformed. I gotta tell you, I've lost over 170 pounds. I can exercise and do a lot of physical activities that I couldn't do before. And one of the main thoughts on repeat in my head during those extra hard days was just that one of like, just choose your hard. You can do it. You can choose the hard that is going to give you something. And, there's a multitude of reasons why people are overweight or struggle with depression and anxiety. For me, the weight was a physical symptom, I think, that expressed the turmoil and negativity I felt inside. If you asked me today, I wouldn't say I'm cured. I still have dark days, and I still have to constantly work on my thoughts and habits. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I take medication that seems to help, and I'm still in the process of defeating my demons. Like I said, I'm stubborn and I don't like change, but my heck, guys, my life is better. There's a difference in choosing the hard where you're isolated and defeated versus the hard where you do the work and put in the effort to change. Both ways of life take a lot of energy, but only one way provides positive results. Choose the hard that gives you something back. Lately, I've also been thinking about effort versus struggle. In the past, and occasionally still in the present, I think thoughts like, life is hard and I'm just tired of struggling all the time. I remember my 6th grade teacher in elementary school. He was a wonderful man, and he always used to say, life's hard, then you die. It's one of the truest statements I've ever heard. He said it as a way to stop complaining in class, and I also think as a way to tell his students that they could do hard things. It's just part of life that you have to deal with pain and heartache. But I believe most of us make life a lot more difficult than it really needs to be. Now I'm working on thinking thoughts like, life takes effort. Effort's a good thing. Work is a good thing. One of my new favorite mantras is, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And there's a big difference between effort and struggle. Effort is the energy that it takes to make things happen. Struggle is added energy and stress on top of the effort. We struggle when we think thoughts like, I can't do this, or that is too hard. It makes me think about doing chores as a kid. My mom was so patient with me. I hated doing dishes because I didn't like getting things on my hands, and I would often drag the chore out, and a 10-minute job would turn into like 30-40 minutes of torture. And it was the resistance I felt towards doing something I didn't like that caused all of the trouble. It's still not my favorite thing, but I'm okay with doing dishes now. I can just dig in and get the job done. But now I feel a resistance toward other hard things like meeting new people and creating new relationships, or working on and creating the life that I really want, which can be pretty scary to me. And I want you to know that I still struggle. I still have demons to battle. I'm stuck in the middle of life with the rest of you, but I've learned that it's okay to admit that. And sometimes just admitting that we have a struggle diminishes it, and we find the strength to put in the effort and overcome that difficulty. I'm actually so grateful for this podcast and the chance to express these feelings, because the last few months have been challenging, to say the least, for me. But in creating this podcast episode for you guys, I've reminded myself that I've overcome a lot already. I can continue to put in the effort to be better and create a vibrant life for myself. I can choose the hard that works for me, and you can do that too. So I really appreciate you being here today, and thanks for listening, and live the vibrant life.